Yeah, so shout out to everybody just tuning in. If you didn't know, what you should know, this page is pro-black athlete, pro-black person, pro-black community. And the overall mission is just to uplift us. It's love for everybody. It's good vibes for everybody. It's respect for everybody. But it's all about uplifting us and painting us in the proper light, because too often media has acted as a propaganda machine to tear down the black athlete, to tear down the black male, to tear down the black woman. And it's time for some balance within this basketball media, within this entertainment media, and not the media that sets traps, not the media that asks questions that may get a athlete in trouble that's not in the athlete's best interest, not a media that talks to the athlete without respect, as Nick Friedell just did with Kyrie. And Kyrie handled himself exceptionally well. And let's take a listen to this interview. Let's analyze it, and let's learn from it.
Next question. On the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
So he goes straight to Alex Jones. Pay attention to this tactic. It's a horrible person from what I can gauge from this. He's trying to discredit Kyrie from the set of the conversation to make the public has already been conditioned to view Alex Jones as a crazy conspiracy theorist. He has a major lawsuit going on. So this is all to group Kyrie in with everything, when we don't have to agree with everything to agree with one thing. You might disagree with 9 things that a person say, but the one thing that y'all agree on, y'all strongly agree on it, and it impels you to retweet something. Doesn't mean that you agree with anything else. But the left views the world, and if you're with them, you agree with everything, so they think everybody else thinks that way. But unfortunately, that's not how the rest of the world thinks. The same with the movie that Kyrie retweeted. He might agree with one thing strongly, disagree with 9 things, but they'll try to put every take in the movie with him. It might be one of your favorite movies, and you might only like one part a lot. But that's the world we live in. Let's continue watching this video.
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook.
So Kyrie is making it clear of his stance, in which Kyrie seems to be very well schooled on how to handle this media that likes to propagate the black man specifically within sports in a bad light. So he's dispelling you're going to put me in a box with him because he agrees with one thing. So he's getting that out the way real quick. So checkmate Kyrie.
The kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that.
And while doing so, Kyrie's also being what I know Kyrie to be, a sympathetic, peaceful person, and extending his love to that situation and acknowledging their trauma.
My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults.
Yeah, and they made it about everything except specifically what Kyrie was retweeting about, and he's just getting back to the point that he was pointing out. Societies within the community that, may control things. Or groups.
It's true. So,
and, then he states that he feels it's true, and he, was moving on from the question after that.
A campaign is for Alex Jones or anything. Just there to post. And it's funny. And it's actually hilarious because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. This just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book,
Please stop calling it a promotion. What am I promoting?
Yeah, so now he's moving into, even though like on the earlier video that I did where Kyrie made his stance clear that he doesn't hate anyone, that he supports all walks of life, and he's accepting to all religions and all perspectives and all beliefs, but he just happens to believe his own thing and have his own mind and be able to form his own perspective. Historically, black people have been lied to about history, so they teach you when you go to college, question everything. He's just doing that with questioning everything while not trying to hurt anyone, while not speaking against anyone, only proclaiming his belief. And in a free society, you have the right to practice whatever religion that you so choose, as long as you're not breaking any laws, in which he's not doing. He's just saying that he believes this thing. And like I said, Hindus are entitled to believe what Hindus believe. Muslims are entitled to believe what Muslims believe. Whatever your religion, if you come up with something tomorrow, if that's what you want to believe, as long as you're not breaking any laws or physically harming someone or speaking something that may incite, I don't know if I want to go that far, but or just speaking something that like go do this to this person, then you're right within your right to have your own perspective, as long as it's just your perspective, it's your belief, and that's what you're living by. So
put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it. Do you see me doing fine?
yeah, and Kyrie understands that he's trying to say that you're promoting anti-Semitic talking points. Again, I haven't seen the whole movie yet. I doubt most of these people have seen it either. They're probably just taking takes from reports. So to really have a true perspective, I would have to go watch it, in which I will do. And then I have a better take on what they're talking about, this anti-Semitic. But thus far, I just am attacking this video with the perspective that Kyrie believes that blacks are Hebrews.
Putting it out there, people are going to say that you are
Yeah, I put it out
promoting.
there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not
You put things out there for a living, right?
right. But my stuff
Great,
is
so
not
let's move on.
filled
Let's
with
move on.
anti-Semitic
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me.
And see, he's throwing out the anti-Semitic label, trying to put a label on Kyrie, when Kyrie already made it clear that he has love for all religions and all walks of life. So when you throw that out there at that point, you're slandering the man. You're trying to overtalk him. You're trying to force your perspective. And that's clear anti-black behavior. That's clear white supremacists. I'm over you. I'm going to tell you what this is. You don't have the right to think. You don't have the right to clear anything up. You don't have the right to believe in what you want to believe in, because my perspective is right. And pretty much shut up, black boy. That's pretty much what he tried to do to Kyrie. You're nothing but N-word with the ER. And when white people talk to us like this is their way of trying to sun us publicly. And this behavior has to stop. It can't be accepted. And we have to acknowledge and pay attention to people like Nick Friedell.
I'm not doing that.
Another
You're free
human
to
being. I can post whatever I want, so say that and shut it down.
And this is Kyrie asserting himself as a man, that you're not going to sun him. He doesn't care about, whatever that's going on right now that he's trying to say. You're not going to force your opinion on him, and you're not going to make him bow down. He's standing strong and firm in his belief.
To the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that
I don't have to understand anything from you.
And there you go. They're trying. These are key things. Listen to key words when they tell you you have to know. Who are you to tell this man that has worked hard to put himself in a position that you have a job? Like, you have no job without guys like Kyrie Irving. So you don't have the right to tell him that he has to understand anything. You have to understand what he already made clear, that he has love for everyone and he accepts everyone. And if you don't want to accept that, you need to get rid of that white supremacist mentality. You need to get rid of that anti-black mentality, and you need to stop thinking that you can son grown black men that are more successful than you specifically, that is providing a way of life for you to provide for your family. So regardless, with the success or without the success, you don't have the right to degrade any black man in this way that Nick Friedell is trying to do. So pay attention to this, young players, and learn from this, and definitely pay attention to reporters like Nick Friedell, because they're very dangerous, they're very divisive, and they will try to get you in trouble.
By posting what you're making up, bro. Move on.
But by posting,
Move on. Next question.
anybody
You guys have any more questions?
and they're gonna say,
You guys have any more
This is
questions?
the
'Cause this is gonna be a clip. This is gonna be a clip that he's gonna marvel at. Is this any more questions?
Yeah, and Kyrie just sons him, pretty much gets that out of here. And I made my stance clear. Nick carries an anti-black attitude, over talking to good brother Kyrie and slandering him with labels while trying to force his perspective. Kyrie already made his stance clear that he is pro all walks of life, typical white supremacist behavior, and that's what Nick is exuding. Let's just take a look at Nick again. Hello, Nick. There's your 5 minutes of fame. So we're going to go up, and he tries to catch KD up and cause tension possibly with KD and Kyrie, or make KD say something that could possibly get KD losing sponsors and suspensions. And we know we see everything that's going on with Kanye. If he answers this question in the wrong way, he could be in a similar situation. So pay attention to guys like Nick Friedell. Very dangerous people.
impacted you guys and everybody. What he posted, speaking of the group, do you think anything that's gone on with Kyrie recently, with what he posted and backlash he's faced from it, has impacted the group at all? Absolutely not. Only impacted you guys and everybody outside the locker room.
And KD very smart, just like he does on the court. Smooth answer, Euro step, and score. I don't have any opinion about anything outside of basketball. KD has already made his stance clear many times. He just wants to hoop. And Nick, why I say he's dangerous, because he's asking the question with the intent to trap KD in some type of situation. Doesn't have the best interest of the player. Another sign of anti-black behavior. Nick is dangerous, divisive, and seems to be anti-black with his approach to all of this. First slandering Kyrie after Kyrie made his stance clear, now trying to trap KD with this question. Horrible person. Anybody that tries to jeopardize somebody else feeding their family, coming from the situations and the environments that we come from, just horrible people. They need to really go look in the mirror and reflect, and try to get that spirit off of them, because you shouldn't be trying to use your job to catch somebody else up, or use your job to try to put someone in the position to jeopardize what they work so hard for. So it's sad to see Nick doing things like this. I hope maybe these tweets or this video can get to Nick. Nick, clean it up. We know it's not cool. We know it's not ethical reporting. It's not ethical journalism. Everything that you're doing is just nasty, Nick. Come on now. You're better than this. This is not the approach that you have to take. Ask questions in good faith. Not cool at all. Nostalgia hoops, nostalgia sports and culture. We're going to send some prayers out there for Nick. And shout out to Katie and Kyrie for being well schooled in media. I'm out.